Hi everyone. Strategy consulting is a $500 billion industry and it is still untapped when it comes to AI automation and AI agents. But that's why this weekend at Buildathon 2026 at Half Capital's office at NYC, our team built Big Four. So let me show you what we do. We can just put in a ticker. Let's put NVIDIA because Chris will love this and hit analyze. So what is happening right now, I can tell you. We are basically replicating the complete tiered and layered pipeline of what we have in consulting firms or even in business departments of an organization. I can show you how this works. In the architecture, we have layer 0, which is responsible for data gathering. Here we have news scraping scripts as well as synthetic data generation to save up on time for the demo. This layer will give out sets of raw data, which is financial data, as well as news and trending data for the company as well as the competitors. But this data cannot be processed directly by a business analyst. So therefore, we have a knowledge inference layer, which is basically referring and replicating to the data analyst layer in an organization. They are responsible to process this data independently and then come up with reports and business reports and inference, which can then be processed by the business analyst. So, based on both of these documents, a set of analysts, to be precise, we have five different analysts, which are basically five different agents with different personas who work upon on these documents and are responsible to give out three different moves each: a high risk move, a medium risk move, and a low risk move. But we can't accept or even propose this to a client, right? So each move goes through a boardroom meeting, which is basically acted by a critic, a very strong critic in a critic layer number three, and a set of decision makers. Precisely, we have three decision makers in the decision maker layer. This is a sandbox where we simulate boardroom meetings. So in sandbox, every move will be critiqued by the critique agent, and then as it happens in a boardroom, all the decision makers will give their own views upon the critic as well as the move. We do this for 10 different rounds, and after 10 rounds, based on all the debates that are taken place, we ask each and every decision maker to score the move on impact, feasibility, risk adjusted return, and strategic alignment. We can even see this over here. In the sandbox, we can see live negotiations and a dynamic leaderboard where we see that, okay, M4, that is move 4, is currently winning, and which is because it is scored at 72. We can also see uh, what data gathering agents did, and this is the financial data, and this is the news data. That so as we knew that we had multiple agents, and these are all the moves that were given by the sets of agents, and these are not just moves, but they are backed by well-defined reasoning of why do we actually think that this move makes sense, and all of this reasoning is grounded to the data that we have been data as well as the inference we have. So, so let's say the sandbox now is done. We have got the final scores. M4 and M11 and M10 are the top three. We can also look them up in the view analysis panel, where we see that M4 is winning. And what is M4? We can look at this: that accelerate custom chip design partnerships with hyperscalers. I think Chris will love this again, and would also maybe align. If the client or the actual decision makers in an organization do not really align with any of these, we still have the other moves listed over here, just weighed out. But you can actually go there and view each of them independently, so that it's not a problem. So yeah, so this was us, uh, Team Big Four.